Hello everyone, welcome to Wing Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've all decided to join me today. Today we're going to do our fifth set of alternatives for the February 2026 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Celebrate Spring. Here are the 9 cards you could have made had you done these as intended, and they are very cute as they were, but we're going to change things up a little bit so we can try to stretch our kit. So, while I get this, our first card out, if I could ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate it if you did. I am trying to grow our channel and our community, and I'd love to have you around here. So we're going to start with a card base of Pool Party that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to give this a nice good burnish here so we can make it lay nice and flat. I've got a piece of basic white for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. Out of the kit, I've got this square sentiment piece that we're going to stamp on. And then I've got just a couple of the little things. So, one of the sets of Easter eggs. And look, I've got ink on me already this morning. And some of the leafy bits and a couple of the flowers. And we're going to put that on the front. So, let's do our stamping first so I can get more ink on me. Because why not? It wouldn't be a nice crafting session if you didn't end up all different colors, now would it? Okay, so on the outside, we are going to do a stamp that was in the kit, and it's called Hello Spring. Or no, I'm sorry, Hello Friend. I've got spring on the brain. So, let's ink this up. I'm just so excited when spring finally gets here. I just wish it would finally get here already. But Mother Nature, where I live in Ohio, is very bipolar, as my oldest son says, because one day it's 85 and the next day it's 40. So, you know, it's crazy. So, let's line this up on the mat here so that we can hopefully start with this straight. Oh, that's not the right piece. Oh my goodness. See what happens when I talk? Let's put this. The little piece down is what I want. So we're going to put our Hello Friend in the middle. So let's get that down. We're stamping in Pool Party, if I didn't say. And so there's our Hello Friend for the front. And the inside, we're going to do an old stamp from a while ago that says Thinking of You. And I think this was in a Paper Pumpkin Kit at one point. Honestly, it's just in my pile of stamps on my desk that have lost their home, and I haven't had time to sit down and figure out where they go. So sometimes I just search that for stamps to use because they're right here. So we're going to do Thinking of You on the inside. I don't know if I've got enough ink on that. Okay. Thinking of You, we're going to put down right here. Give that a second or two. There we go. Alright, let's put the ink away. And I know I've got ink on me, but I think it's all old, so I don't think I'm going to ruin anything. So, let's get this on the inside. And find a tube that has some glue in it. Hopefully this is, yes, the one that does. Okay, so we're going to center that up in here. And that is not straight by any stretch of the imagination. So let's wiggle that around. That looks much better. Okay. On the outside, we're going to put our Hello Friend down. I think I'm just going to put this down flat. So centered up. There we go. Oops. I moved it. Oh, let's move it back. Okay. Alright. And that is just not straight. It's going to bother me. Let me see if I can get it a little straighter. Alright, that's good. Alright. Our Easter eggs are going to go down here at the bottom. And our leafy bits to the side here. And our 2 little flowers are going to go right up here. So, let's just keep gluing. So I'm just going to put that in the corner here. And this one over here. And I'm trying to debate. I think I want to pop the Easter eggs up. So let's put a couple of dimensionals on here. I even got ink on my dimensionals. Yeah, that's funny. Okay. Ah, come on, come off there. Alright, so now we're going to put our eggs right down here. Okay, and then we'll just tuck our little flower bits, our leafy bits, right up here on the edges. Like this, and like this. Maybe. Except we've got a dimensional there, so let's tuck that under there. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Alright, last but not least, we need some bling. So I've got some iridescent foil gems that we're going to use. So let's do a big one here. And we'll do a small one here. And another small one. I don't know, let's go right there. There we go. Perfect. So simple, but effective. Alright, so let's move on to our second one. So for this one, we're going to start with a card base of Lemon Lolly, because it's a nice springy color. And we're going to give this a good burnish. We've got a piece of basic white for the inside that's 4 by 5 1/4. This is our standard card base. And then I've got a piece of this blue. This was a half of one of the card bases that came in the kit that I cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. So this is going to be our second layer, or actually our first layer. I'm ahead of myself. So first layer is this. We're just going to center that up, and we'll get that down. Then we're going to take this floral wreath that was in the kit, and that's going to be next. So we're going to put it there. We've got our little bunny that we're going to tuck down in here. So let's do this. Let's move our wreath out of the way here. I kind of want to put the bunny right like that. So let's put the bunny down first, because I've done this before that if I didn't, then I couldn't get it tucked under the wreath like I wanted it. So let's put our bunny down first. And it looks like we need to come up just a little south with him there. Alright, that looks like that ought to be good. So let's just straighten him up here a little bit. Alright, so there's that. Now we'll get our wreath down. And we're going to make sure we cover up the bottom of our bunny. So just like that, except that is not straight. Let's try just a little bit more to the right. Okay. There's that. Now, we've got one of these pink flowers here that I thought would be cute to, if I can do it now. Let's see if I can get that in there. I kind of wanted to tuck this under here. Just pull that up a little bit so that it looks like the bunny's kind of holding the flower. So let's just see if we can get that to work. Maybe like that. That works. Okay, so there's that. Now, lastly, we're going to do our stamping. We are going to stamp in Daffodil Delight. Sorry. I wanted a little darker yellow. On our little banner piece here, we are going to use the stamp that came in the kit that says Happy Easter. And on the inside, we're going to do an older stamp I found that says Let's Celebrate. So let's ink our first one up here. And we're just going to line this up. And I'm going to get Happy Easter down here, hopefully relatively straight. We'll give that a second or two. Okay, looks good. We'll put that right there. And then on the inside, we're going to do Let's Celebrate. So let me ink that up. And we'll line this up. And we'll come down here and get this down. Alright. Now it may be a little hard to see on camera, but you can see it in person. So, just gives it kind of a light and airy, springy feeling. So let's get this down on the inside. And we're just going to center this up. And let's see here. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to pop this up on some dimensionals. So let's go ahead and get a couple of those down across here. And then we can put our bling on and we will be done. Alright, last back. Come on, there we go. Alright, so we're going to put this right across the bottom there to cover up any part of the bunny that might be showing at the bottom. And what did I do with that bling? Okay, we're going to still use our iridescent foil gems. And let's get a big one. Let's just do two. Let's just make this simple. We're going to do two big ones. Okay, stuck to my putty. I don't know why this particular, I just changed this putty in this, and for some reason it just wants to stick to the bottom of the gems and not to the top like it's supposed to. And let's see, we're going to get one right there. Alright, and I think that's all it needs. So now maybe you can see it better. Happy Easter, and let's celebrate. Alright, so here are our two cards that we made today. Very springy. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And leave me a comment and let me know which one of these is your favorite. And I will see you tomorrow. We've got two more sets of these alternatives. So the next 2 days, hopefully I can get those in and then we can move on to March. Have a crafty day. Bye.